back to our usual deal. We've got our Monday footage to go over. Let's get it pulled up and get going. So we got Nick and Danny starting us off while everybody finds a dance partner. Nick looking to go for a Russian tie-ish, kind of. Danny sets up his collar tie. And to step inside, maybe on an inside trip here. Hanging out a little too long, maybe misses the opportunity. Yeah, Nick's going to get the best of that. All right, Devin and Cole, me and Dylan. Justin and Aiden. Good to have Aiden back with us. Nick making good connection. Whoop, Danny throws up a reverse triangle. That looks good. That looks very threatening. Look back at that setup in a second. So Danny's trying to get, what he wants to do is get this knee a little bit lower than the ear. He might not need it though. That looks pretty tight. And if it's not a strangle, it's definitely controlling. Cole shooting head outside single. Looks like he and Devin are talking through something. Cooper coming over to talk smack, I hope. Were they just practicing something here? Yeah. Okay, looking like a single leg counter. Nick still caught. All right, Nick makes it out. Before we get too far, just want to see that setup. So Nick looking to make a connection here. Doing a good job controlling the legs. Turns the corner around the knee. But yeah, he's got that hook right here. And if he brings his head between the legs, he's setting himself up for a triangle, right? One arm in, one arm out. What's up, James? And if, even if he doesn't set it up himself, he's not too far away from it. Danny makes a little angle adjustment and can start putting on the triangle pressure. It's nice awareness. What happened there? Because Nick gets out. Oh, I think did Danny get a toe hold on that? Yeah, there it is. So Danny controlling the head, but finds the foot and is able to secure a toe hold. Very nice. Very nice. Got Justin over here looking on a Darce, which I believe we went over. Yeah, Danny taught that class, so we were going over Darces. Very nice, Justin. Looks like it was fresh in his mind. Ready to put it to work. Mike and Andrew joining us. James, is it just you and me, buddy? No, I see a few more in the chat. Danny did teach a Darce. Danny getting a little sweep action while Nick looks for the leg setup. Possible calf slicer attempt here, but Danny turns out. Going for a little sweep on Dylan. Just coming up with an underhook. I won the underhook battle. Now I'm looking for that far side knee tap. Pull that knee out, drive through, work to get behind him. What's up, Andrew? Dances are fun, but I assume you meant Darces, which are also fun. Oh, Andrew on a ankle attack here. Did you tap Mike with a straight ankle, or did he? Looks like maybe he countered you. He digs out the heel hook. Doesn't have ads if you're a subscriber. Use your Twitch Prime. Twitch is money hungry, dude. So putting some open guard stuff to work here with Dylan. Yeah. Yeah, bro. I thought you were a supporter, man. What's your problem, man? Just a few principles of play. Just making sure I'm establishing connection when I can. Trying to deny Dylan the connection. You can see me like just shooting in. There was an arm drag attempt there. I'm going to catch him square. And for anyone who doubts that move, standing in a square stance, there's the double ankle, the double kouchi, right? Double inside ankle. I'm really engaging this leg. You can tell he goes to pick it up, and my leg follows it. It doesn't. His leg doesn't get away from me just because it's moving. I have to stay engaged on that. So he loses his balance, and I'm able to take the top position. Coming up with the leg inside. Now I'm looking to guard pass. We got Devin working an Americana. Yeah, bro. Twitch Prime, man. Use it on me because you only get one. Nick really going for this double underpass. Is he caught another triangle? I can't tell. I think he is. Looking to stack his way out, which is not the best way to get out of that. I mean, sometimes it can help. I'm not going to advise you guys to stack your opponent on their neck because we all like each other for the most part. I like most of you. And getting stacked on your neck sucks, especially when you like throw your weight down into it. It's a real dick move, and no one should do it. If you're not going to do that, when you stack, you just kind of give your opponent a chance to hook the leg here like we see Danny doing. The benefit of hooking the leg is not just to prevent you from standing up out of the triangle. It also helps the guy doing the triangle get to a more advantageous angle and tighten up the strangle. So stacking has its pros and cons. You can still use it to escape, and not even necessarily to like stack him on his neck like I was talking about. It's useful in other escapes, but this is the risk you run when you stand. But Nick looks like he gets out of this. Danny's starting to lose the triangle. He's down to cross legs. Quick transition from Danny, and Nick drops like a sack of potatoes that have food poisoning. Anybody else find it hilarious that Nick was sick for like a whole month with food poisoning, the flu, and noro? I wouldn't wish it on any of you, but it is funny. Me and Andrew. Andrew's starting down. From all that contaminated pizza you eat. Coop looking for a rear triangle setup here, but he got his leg caught, so he can't lock in the triangle. Gotta get the chat going, man. The best way to get you guys yapping at me is to talk some smack to you. Andrew, why were you starting down again? Was it your knee or something? I can't remember what it was. Either way, you're not down anymore. I'm looking to pass. Right before I lost that, just notice this passing approach that I'm doing. So standing up the middle, my left foot is tucked in really close to the hip. My right foot, I'm looking to step out, but before I can do that, I've got to pin Andrew's shoulder to the mat, or as close to the mat as I can. I want to try to keep him flattened out. I'm controlling this far leg here so that his leg versus my leg is the only entanglement I'm dealing with. And then watch what happens when I go to step out and around. You'll see me try to like step out this way, and he'll follow me, which really sucks. I'm kind of off balance here, right? You could see me kind of tilting towards his head. So instead, I bring my foot in and out and around that way. So rather than going this way and pummeling it over, If he follows, I can make a quick switch, pull my heel in, and just cross around the thigh instead of trying to cross around the shin. And then I start to settle in, and Andrew says, nah, not gonna happen. I mean, it's just what I do, man. What's up, Ben? How you feeling, Ben? You ready for, are you competing this weekend? I thought you were one of the guys competing. Justin, did your hand hold up well to getting back on the mat? We're not going to see you run off with like a bloody paw. Nick utilizing the shin pin here. And in this kind of cross-body position, he's controlling the right shoulder and the far left hip with his head position. I'll still go to the roll for, yeah. Good. If it's freezing, I haven't dropped any frames, Andrew, so it might be you. I'm not gonna claim credit for it this time. Super annoying defense by Andrew here. This was really great leg lock defense. I'm about as deep on this hip connection as I can get. Cool. Dylan starting off. And Andrew, you did a really great job not letting me get any purchase on that leg. Every time I thought I was getting to that, it was just getting shut down. And now you're on your way to escaping. Again, I was super deep on the hip-to-hip connection, so that was solid. Ronnie, who you over there with? Are you smashing Aiden? Yes, you are. Oh, the Americana. Hell yeah. It's funny. I think Aiden's happy to be back. Let's roll with Aiden. Yeah. Sounds about right. Can't really fully extend the fingers. Slamming it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Yeah, I think Aiden has a lot to remember. He got his blue belt before he left us, and I don't know how much he trained when he was at college, but it'll all come back. Then he asked what nights. I was surprised he didn't know. That's adorable. He should. I hope you told him I'll wear the gi. I'll wear the gi. Oh, all right. Yeah, sorry, Ben. I just saw your message. So not. Yeah, you're doing Blue Coast. That's right. That's right. I was the one who set that up. Why didn't I know that? Let's see. Got Nick. Looks like Nick sits into a leg attack here. That would make Luke proud. That's one of his favorite entrances into legs. Or at least one of the ones I know that he likes to teach. Let's look back at that. Who's doing New Breed? Last I heard, it was David, Jake, Dylan, Danny, possibly Mike, and then a few of the children as well. I think that's it. So what's really cool about this entrance is normally when you're setting this up from when you're in side control, the next logical pin to go to would be mount, right? So everybody thinks that when you start, facing the legs and trying to control the legs, you're going to step whoops, losing my arrows here. You're going to step this leg over with a big high leg and go into mount, right? Perfectly viable approach to get there. But you don't have to step this leg into mount. You could step this leg into cross ashi, and that's what we'll see Nick do here. So there, he lifts the leg, gets it between Cooper's legs, and then locks up his triangle, or at least tries to work on it, and now he's gathering the secondary leg to lock in Coop. So fun, cheeky little entrance. It helps, a detail I know Luke always likes to teach about this, is it really helps when they can't see the feet. or their own legs, right? So you can see Cooper's view of his own legs is obstructed by Nick. So it kind of gives him a little, the ability to do a little bit of a misdirection and sit into something that maybe Cooper wasn't expecting. Got Mike on Justin's back here. Andrew looking to rip my head off from Turtle. Ronnie again working cross side, top half guard on Aiden. So much action. You guys, as always, let me know if I'm missing anything. See Andrew, I'm starting to escape the back attack from Andrew, and just notice quickly as I know he's going to transition into mount, I'm going to try to keep this leg opened, away from his body so I could capture it with my leg. I'll do that by putting my hands to the knee, just kind of shrimping my butt out a little bit, and then doing what I can to capture his ankle or the knee if I can. I think this time I kind of got halfway there and then got the knee. Anytime you're losing the back and you go to transition to mount, that's something you're going to have to look out for. Mike onto a Katagatame. Looking rather deep. Justin, you're not phased yet. Americana twice. No, doesn't make you an asshole. It makes you twice as American as anybody else here. That looks like Mike fights through, gets the tap. We've got Ethan and Danny over there. Danny looking to maybe omoplata. Is that what he goes for? Yeah. Ish. Yeah, letting Ethan escape that. That looked really deep, man. I was honestly a little surprised it lasted as long as it did. Mike has a pretty nasty arm triangle. Leg entrance here on Andrew. Standing back up, my leg up the middle. A very awkward, ugly back step. And then going back around into cross ashi. Does Andrew get out of this one? No, he doesn't. Okay. Got out of one of them. Can't let him have another. Oh, Ronnie with her favorite throw. Kind of a, I should look up like the, there's got to be like a judo name for this, just to make you guys hate me more. But it's kind of like a lateral drop without the underhook. So really, just focusing on the one arm. You can call it an arm throw, I suppose. Arm throw sacrifice. That was very nice. And a third Americana. Did you get him with one there? That's 3 Americanas, Ronnie. That is superlative Americanism right there. Chauvinist, you may even say. Oh, with 10 seconds left on the clock, you had to just throw in a third. Now I know why he was so dejected when I started rolling with him. Throwing the standing guillotine attempt, snap him down instead. if some of you who haven't been around all that long may not know, but Aiden was a big fan, or is a big fan, of the Peruvian necktie, which probably easier to pull off in a gi, but definitely doable in no gi. So there's forever a bounty on him if you can get a Peruvian necktie. The reward is the respect of the upper belts for making Aiden cry. But he really likes to pull them off when he can. Yeah, right, exactly. Had to throw a little armbar action on him there. Aiden is a little Peruvian chicken. Cole and Andrew get here, so is this? Oh, damn. Okay, so Cole had a bit of an oopsie last night, or on Monday night. I don't see as much of a... Andrew, was this like a straight arm attack, or... So I can't see what's going on. I think, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Cole's arm extended, like fully extended, and you're attacking the straight arm? Is that the idea here? Shutting down Aiden's attack. Mike, how did Mike and Nick get down there? Nick staying down. Justin sitting as well. Mike looking to work some guard passing from half guard. I don't know if... Ben, I don't know if you know. Andrew did F him up. No, a connection store. We'll give... Alright, yeah. We'll come back. Yeah, Cole's bicep is torn. I feel you. We can come back to it. Because I'm curious about that position. Oh, so with Aiden here, this was an interesting moment. Kind of interesting. Yeah, Ben, you should, dude. What's your problem, bro? Aiden tries to use this underhook, and like he tries to like kind of slide behind me, but like it's not a terrible effort. Like looking at it now, he's throwing that underhook up, trying to get my overhook out of the way as he slides behind me. But I kind of sensed it from his footwork, what he was doing, and as he's going, I just pretty much wrap his head up and sit through, and then now I just have to make sure that he doesn't get behind me. If I control his arm, then I'm good, and I could make do with that. There I had a really sloppy attempt. I was trying to kind of cartwheel in a way over him, just get my head down, get my hips and legs up, and then just move over into side control. He manages to catch my trailing leg, but yeah, it was... I think that could have worked for him if he put a little bit more power into the move, or got me off balance a bit more. It was kind of there. But yeah, Cole's got a bicep tear, unfortunately. So don't feel bad. Good escape from Aiden. See what he does with his hands. Little bump. There we go. Nice. Very nice. Very simple. Justin looking for the arm triangle. Let's go back and see the setup. All right, so working from half guard. Got the far side underhook. Yeah, Dylan, you kind of gave that to him, bud. So, Dylan, for you, if you're watching, you know, this is definitely like a very preventable, what I'll just, you know, call a white belt mistake. I got caught in this move almost as like the exact same setup, if I remember correctly, in my very first competition match ever. Yeah, very, very much a gift. You know, you bring your head and your arm together, and Justin can use his head as that underhook, and he just gets everything set up. You can see it now, right? As soon as you get here, Justin's like, oh, thank you. It's I'll take it from here. So, you know, something I would advise you to do instead is use, you know, a framing across his you could kind of like, we're not trying to break anybody's nose here, but, you know, get your forearm in front of the face, kind of lift up, push away a little bit, move it down to frame the shoulders, and then, you know, start shrimping, moving around with that space you've created. You don't have to violently get your forearm in, but when you let your elbow get above your shoulder line and like in front of your chest, that's where things get really, really dangerous. Tell that to Luke. Yeah. I don't want to. Luke has left me with so many bruises on my nose. What's up, Deathcore? Happy New Year to you too, buddy. We are. Most of us are healthy. We had a good bout of the flu pass through the school for a few guys, but most everybody's back to good health. Yeah, Cooper, go get your nose cauterized so it stops bleeding all the time, please. And Deathcore, thank you for the resub, man. I really, really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you've been getting in some good training. Aiden coming up out of turtle here. I'm trying to remember how to set up a Peruvian and just fumbling through it because it's a move I never ever do. But now that he's back, I'm gonna have to like brush up on it. Coop looking to set up a triangle, but he's got to get an arm out. Yep. Devin kind of navigating this spot pretty well. I feel like he's thinking about the mistakes he's making. Now he knows he's got himself in a bit of a bind. Coop, you gonna finish this, bud? You got the arm. You got the wrist, Cooper. There you go. Looks like you really wanted the triangle, man. That was sick. Very nice. And all the way from close guard, too. So, like, you know, here's where Devin's messing up a bit, right? He's trying to stand, but he's bent over. And he's making these upper body connections. I think I know what he's thinking right now. He's trying to control the biceps to get to, you know, we always talk about pinning the biceps so that they can't control your posture. But once you stand up, you can let go of the biceps and just stand up completely, right? You don't want to hang out there too long. Looks like Devin may have just been hanging out, trying to control the biceps and got caught spending a little too much time down there. Cooper, you did a really solid job here of pulling him back down. Devin re-engages here, and that's kind of the beginning of the end for him. That was great. Justin finishes that arm triangle. And Mike and Nick moved all the way over there. What happened? Ronnie and Danny. Okay. So I don't get to do these too frequently, but successful arm in guillotine. So with this like body lock that Aiden's trying to do here, when you pick a side of the body that you're going to run to, your head has to go to the opposite side, right? Think about it in terms of like side control. You're passing from an open guard, so most likely if you're really well connected, odds are you're going to pass into side control, okay? Side control is defined by having head on one side, hips on the other. I'm forcing Aiden to have his head and hips on the same side by just this little over back grip. I'm blocking his head with my armpit. Now as he runs, he's really, unless I turn very hard away from him and give up my back, which I don't want to do, he's not advancing his position much yet. Not to say that he couldn't, but the way he's driving through me here, his entire body is on one side of me. He's not cross-side. He's not pinning me really. So you see, I just make a little adjustment, get my hips into place. I get my hands connected, and now I look for leg over the back, shin across the hips, and I start to What you can't see is the handwork that I'm doing to get under the chin, and I get the arm in guillotine. Yeah, Andrew, my big question, where was I? This was 2.5 minutes. My big question was just what was the position here? It looks like you're attacking a straight arm, I want to say, but I can't see the arm. I was curious what configuration you guys were in. Like, was Cole's arm extended? Entered into his legs with the reap. He tried to pin my hips, and his arm got caught. When I extended, he said, after it got off the noise, I initially thought his hand was caught. His pants shoot up, but it was bicep tearing. That's really rough. Really rough. So when you say his arm got caught, straight arm, is that what it? Or was he like planting or something? Either way, that sucks, man. I know it was definitely unintentional. Big thumbs down. Big Joe's thumbs down. Ultimately straight arm. He said he was trying to pin my hips. I stood up and got caught. Yeah. That sucks. Ben coming in with the comic relief. Aiden looking to set up his cute little Peruvian necktie. Absolutely adorable. Coming at it from he's more straight on with it. Maybe that's what I was missing. Yeah, I need to revisit that just for fun. Here, as he tries to flip me over, I pretty much just keep my back pinned on his face. Make him suffer a little bit for trying. Because that's what's important. When you guys try and fail, I want you to suffer. Lazy setup into an armbar, triangle, threat. He takes top position. If you count surgeries, only 2. Yeah, I avoided mine. I still contend Andrew didn't have much to do with my knee at all. You weren't even attacking my leg when it started hurting. Cooper in on another triangle threat here. Dylan looking for an armbar. Little does he know Justin has really solid armbar escapes. Yeah, Dylan's just on the wrong angle for this. You're coming around the front over the top of the arm. Unless you're going to wrist lock him, I don't really see you getting a submission from that position. Did I do anything? Oh, I finished off with the darce. That's right. We're going to look at this because I never get darces. So when I was going around class, after Danny taught this, for anybody who was having trouble reaching, you'll see me putting my advice to work here, which I'm good at 50% of the time. My ear is on his back. That allows me to really reach my arm through. I'm curling his head in with my other arm. I could do it with a closed grip if need be. But instead, or yeah, there you go. You see me work the closed grip. Like, you know what? Maybe I got this. Slide the arm in. Watch that hand position too. I just bring my forearm, I bring my bicep to my hand. Feel like I got it locked up. I'm testing the depth of my grip there. Seems like, all right, I got a good handful of the bicep. Bring my right hand to my ear. And as I like to advise, I walk into mount. I don't just curl the legs. I curl everything up and walk into mount and get a quick tap that way. Check to make sure he's still alive. And we go onward. Could not get it. Could not get the armbar. Yeah, You honestly you took yourself out of position is what it was, Dylan. And that's, we can work on that. You haven't really had, I don't think we've had like a class devoted to arm bars since you started, which, I mean, I'm teaching on Saturday. Oh, you'll be at the competition Saturday, but maybe in an upcoming, I'm teaching next Tuesday as well. And if I'm not mistaken, we're moving on to half guard. Arm bars don't typically make much of an appearance from half guard. But we could also just go over it any time after class, man. I'll be happy to give you some pointers on it. Yeah, long limb. Is that your advice for the arm bars? Oh, for the darces, I was gonna say. It's terrible advice for getting your bicep torn. Old daddy long arms here trying to pummel my head. Make me wear his weight. I forgot how I get you down here. It's probably awesome, though. Oh, I don't get you down. It's wrong of me to presume. Andrew with Justin. So, anybody having trouble with getting caught in body triangles? I'm addressing this one kind of early. So as Cooper goes to set this up, whatever side the lock is on, right? Like this, it's his top side, which is usually going to be the top side. Not everybody likes to have it on the bottom side. Some people deal with it. I personally hate it. I want my same leg, my top side leg, behind his locking leg, or not behind. It briefly goes behind, but this is the position I want to end up in, where I'm outside the leg, and my goal is to bring his foot closer to my midline, close enough that I could grab it with my bottom arm, only my bottom arm. When I can do that, I essentially unlock the leg and I could twist my hips out. This probably isn't the most clear example of that. Maybe it would help if I slowed it down a little, but see if I could catch a good frame. So lock on the outside. I bring my leg behind into the outside of his leg. And normally what I'm going to do is use my knee to push his ankle in. Here I'm being real sloppy with it. And he switches anyway to like not even a high ball ride. He's kind of off to the side now. But again, if you're having trouble getting caught in a body triangle, there is a way out. It's pretty easy to get to. And as always, remind me of class. I'll be happy to go over it with you guys. Justin just about kicking us in the head here. Dylan, how you feeling for the weekend? One of the high ball ride, but the mat was better. Yeah, at that point your hips were beside me, so high ball is not going to be your best option. If you were still behind me, you could get away with it. Yeah, I'm teaching this Saturday. I'll be there. And if you don't want to come to class, plenty of people will be out in Concord for New Breed, so your attendance will always be welcomed there. Getting a Darce on Cooper, because you got to do it, Super excited. Good. I'm glad you're feeling back to normal. And yeah, maybe get a little break your nose. If I broke your nose, you would know. Say maybe get a little light training in tomorrow. If I don't know if you go Thursdays or not, but I kind of always advise people not to go too hard in the lead up to a comp. I mean, like Danny, Danny's obviously he's older and way more broken than you. But he told me he's not lifting or training hard this week. He's just kind of getting the motions in. Never a bad idea. Got Justin doing his typical job of making it really difficult to strangle him on the back. It's nice, Justin, that even when you go away for a few months and we don't see you come back, and we haven't gotten any better offensively at dealing with your back defense. No, Ronnie, that's not how that works. Danny is accelerating his age right now. You're far younger than Danny. Just red. Ben is on one tonight. I mean, you know, Justin, for, you know, along those lines. So I guess one way to look at that is, you know, look at Andrew, right? He has gone to mount. He just complimented you on your back defense. Let's see where it happened. I mean, Justin, I would say you just have a slower approach to getting out of mount, or I'm sorry, getting out of back mount. Like what you've done here is you've fended off the strangle with you know, how you position your upper body, right? That's going to take significant grip fighting to make sure that your upper body is mobile enough to misalign the shoulders. And then now here you're completely getting your shoulders to the mat, beating Andrew on that side. So it's just a slower approach, whereas, you know, you look at you know, the professionals and the young bucks who can move explosively, unlike us. You know, they're doing these huge hip switches and, like, you know, back rolling if their legs get free and all this stuff. A nice, slow, controlled, grindy kind of approach is as valid as anything else, in my opinion. If it's not, you know, if you want to start speeding it up or adding a bit of variety in, you know, start looking at ways to disrupt the legs. I think your game is largely built on disrupting the upper body. Start looking at how you can untangle the legs, and then, you know, give little hip shifts and get out that way. So your hips are hitting the mat first instead of your shoulders hitting the mat first. And give yourself some friggin' credit. I don't want Andrew on my back. And you managed to stave it off and make him have to move position. Mileage for sure. Yeah, you could have a beautiful old car with no miles on it. Not at our school though. I didn't call you fat, but I could see how you would misconstrue my words into that. No, I only called Aiden fat this evening. And I would have called Nick fat, but he's had so many forms of digestive issues over the last month. I just can't call him fat. Andrew, what did you end up finishing there? So Andrew settles into mount. Oh, looks like a gnarly Americana. I'm curious, Justin, what made you tap on this? Besides the fact that it looks like your arm is bending in a way it shouldn't, I'm asking because this way of doing an Americana, like when I get caught in and it looks like this, it's normally because I'm just worried about my actual joint integrity. Like it's not attacking my shoulder the way an Americana normally does. A reason being on this one, Andrew, and you know, you may already know what I'm about to say, but for anybody curious, Justin's elbow is like kind of straight up. Everybody watching right now can take their elbow and bring it up. It's like you're scratching your back. What you can't do is put your hand out to the side here and then lift your elbow in front of you. That's where your shoulder's limited. So when the knuckles are in line with the back, that's where you get your typical Americana. When your hand is in front of you like this and your elbow comes up, that's a pretty standard range of motion for the shoulder. Now, Justin, I ask you, what were you tapping to here? Just, maybe there could be pressure on the bicep. You'll sometimes hear this called a key lock, and I think that's used interchangeably with Americana sometimes, but I think about a key lock as like almost like a bicep slicer, where your forearm is the key, the space between their bicep and their forearm is the lock, and that's how that one's done. You don't really see it done like that much anymore. Nick was trying to get behind me here, I assume to pick me up and bring me to the camera again. And I was not going to let that happen. Weird shoulder thing, which you're exactly right. And that's why it took a second to get the tab. He has to work it around a good bit to find the spot. Yeah, that's... I feel that way when I'm there. And I mean, you guys have probably heard me more than once talk about when I pop my shoulder against that or I pop my elbow against that giant dude a few years back in competition. He had my arm in a similar Americana where it was here in front of me, and then he pushed outward on my arm. That just attacked the ligaments or the UCL in my elbow. It didn't attack a shoulder like a true Americana does. So when you guys get me caught in a position like that and start manipulating my arm, I'm always really thinking about the integrity of my elbow, considering it's 2/3 as good as it was before. But it doesn't really attack the shoulder joint. Nick is a weight bully. Oh, Nick, you could. I mean, for as much trash as I talk on the stream, actually, I'm so nice to you guys on the stream. I know I talk way more shit in person. I expect you to bully me. If you can pick me up and make me look dumb on my own show, like I thoroughly invite that. Just like you invited me into this heel hook. Just want to look at it one more time because it's kind of sick. So kind of a tripod sweep threat here. Nick is taking it away from me by controlling this leg. I don't know if my short ass leg could find his far leg, but instead what I do is I switch to a leg attack. I'll grab the knee. Where is it? Right there. I pull myself in. I'll swing my right leg around into kind of a reaping position, cracking that leg down, making sure I keep the knee rolling through onto an outside heel hook. Nick has me pause here to go through escaping and doing the move correctly, which he told me he was going to do a lot more with you guys. So when you guys are heel hooking Nick, be ready for him to tap but keep the position and work on his escapes, as everyone should be doing if you're unfamiliar. Andrew, you do a similar thing here? No, it looks like Dylan laid down for some. This basically is locked down the whole time. It's pretty tight. Yeah, you don't want to overdo the showboating, but I mean, a little bit goes a long way, man. Yeah, Cooper, it's funny. I started this round with Nick saying no wrist locks because my wrist is still a little sensitive from last week. A move we probably don't do enough of. Hard to call it even a move, just like a little technique. Did hit an ankle pick on him earlier. On Dylan, I'll go back. Caught in this dogfight position, the things we often talk about. Looking for a knee tap double. You could also roll. If I feel Nick heavily pushing this way, I might dive through into half guard, try to roll him. But because he's such a weight bully, as Ben so astutely described him, I didn't really feel like I was going to win a battle here for a sweep, a traditional sweep. So I limp arm out of this. And what a limp arm is right now, my palm is on his far hip. Like I'm palm down on his hip. I need to point my thumb down, and you'll see me, like I'm debating right now whether or not I feel comfortable doing it. Let's see if I catch the moment I go. So there, thumb points down, and I just whip the hand out. Obviously helps when you're sweaty, but thumb points downward. You can't do it any other way. And then leading with the shoulder pull and just tearing the arm out, and then quickly settling in behind him to make him look foolish. He goes to sit out, but I'm too strong. So Dylan, sorry, I was looking for this sick little ankle pick you get here. Yeah, nice. The downside of this one is you were kind of down too, so it just makes it harder to come up on the, like, and take top position. But since you're not really looking to play standing right now, I wouldn't take that away from you. But good opportunistic grab there. Get behind Nick. Thank you, Ben. I do what I can. I mean, wrist locks are fun. It's a great way to make somebody feel terrible about themselves. Aiden getting top position on Danny. God, I forced that move way too much. Wanted to go to that shoulder drop triangle. Bend your arm like a wet spaghetti noodle. Kind of. Just gotta trust in the positioning of your arm and yanking it out. Andrew, I honestly could see you doing that technique pretty easily. I feel like you find yourself, I don't know, maybe like you and me find ourselves in that dogfight position from time to time. Yeah, I just got to look at this because Nick looks so dumb right now. This is just a double Kouchi. I don't have like a tripod here. It's just catching him standing square. And then whoop. It shouldn't snap if you have your arm in the right position. I think you mean trip, not skip, dude. Speaking of, again, dude, this was just not your like 20 seconds. So sweep single. Standing up with it, getting up nice and high. That collar tie you're giving me was a bit annoying, but I wasn't gonna let that one go. Andrew, how'd you get up on top? You've been there for a second, all right. Also, not snap if your arm bent backwards slightly. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not gonna find out. Andrew went on a nice triangle here. Taking it through a few different angles. Dylan looking nimble here, just getting right up. What in the hell happened there? How did this come about? So Very nice, Andrew. Taking advantage of Dylan putting his hand down. Yeah, Andrew, the only thing I would think to add if you want to finish this sooner is put your head on the mat and pull your heels to your butt. Like it's easier. It's going to be easier to pull your heels up if your head is lower. I'm not going to say that will absolutely finish this move. In fact, you're on like a kind of a strange angle. Maybe that's really more the reason here. Are you? No, I mean it's basically a front triangle. Dylan's just bendy. Now you're, yeah, so your hips are like behind the shoulder, like behind the armpit. So you've moved from that pure front triangle position. Now you're like halfway between a front triangle and what I would call a wrong way rear triangle. Right? Yeah. But either way, you might be able to finish that earlier. But the fact that you stuck with it anyway, like this would be another, good time to attack an arm. There you made the grab on the legs, I think, to crunch his chin in and tighten it up a bit more. So that was a good adjustment. Nick escapes my garbage attempt on the back. Rolls up into close guard. Arms don't lock out until they're past straight. Well, we can't all be bendy like you, pipe cleaner. Dylan just got highlight reeled. Nah, we've all been caught in those. By Andrew. Andrew's tabbed me with those before. I sure as hell am not making a highlight reel out of it. My guy's leg tapped instantly. I could breathe until I went for his arm. Keep in mind, man, I don't want you to think that being strangled means you can't breathe. You can breathe through a lot of stuff, but it doesn't matter if your carotid arteries are what's really getting attacked. I mean, you'll hear plenty of people getting strangled making snoring noises, and that's just indicative of the fact that they can still breathe, but they might not be conscious for much longer. Yeah, Andrew, I think if I had to guess, it probably just crunched in the chin a bit more, and added what little extra torque you needed. Oh, Aiden got embarrassed. All right, looking under the timer. It's like Danny tried to pull guard and he still took him down. Can't breathe with a knee on belly either, I've heard. I can, dude. Got abs for days, bro. Yeah, Aiden really committed to that headlock and just gave up his base entirely. That was embarrassing. Highly embarrassing. Oh, pressure tap from Mount? Was it even before this? Oh, man. Danny doesn't really smother anybody too frequently. Not that I've seen. Man. Aiden. Poor kid. I feel like I've picked on Aiden too much today. I gotta make sure he sticks around long enough. All right, Andrew. Take it easy, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, look who decided to show up today. Little Baker boy. Getting those trenbolone sandwiches, man. Yeah, as soon as he finds out that that gi is that we do whole weeks of gi. Yeah, we alternate gi and no gi now, Aiden. Fun, active round. Very nice. Dude, for real, Ben is on one, man. All right, Danny and Andrew. Looks like Mike and Ethan, I want to say. Just medicated. I'm all turned up on CBD. All right, me and Mike. Danny looking for like an over-under pass. Deciding that's not going to work. So big thing there. It's not worth rewinding for, but Danny attempted a pass. Andrew stuffed it. What did Danny do? He disengaged and started fresh. You guys got to remember that sometimes that is the best option. Like, if you have not made any real forward progress, if you're an open guard, it is a-okay to just take a step back, reset, try the same thing again, or try something new, but don't go down with the ship. You know, if you're losing position. I try to cut across, get a better position on Mike. This used to work. I used to be able to shut down that leg extraction, and now he does it a little too easily. It's because he started lifting weights finally, so he's all strong now. Fighting off his heel grip with secondary leg interference, but it only works for so long. Mike ends up getting the tap here. Yeah, man. So, since you know that's what he would say, maybe keep it PG, bud. Now I'm looking for leg entrances on Mike. I don't know why, it never works. Danny just about passes Andrew's guard with a little turn around the corner. Well-timed, or a good attempt from Andrew to try to turn and get the sweep, but it doesn't work, but he manages to keep his knee in. Danny turns past it now. And Andrew's playing with this butterfly position, but Danny can throw a few different things at him from here. He's got the Americana threat. If he gets the elbow up high, he's going to switch to a head and arm threat. And now Danny, through attrition, gets the pass. Yeah, this is like I don't even want to call it a white belt thing, because it's really not. People do this as like a last ditch effort, but you can be ready for it. Right now, Andrew is gripping Danny's leg with both of his legs. Andrew is thinking to himself, well, his hips are down. I've got this arm wrapped up with an overhook. If I just bridge him in this direction, maybe I could get a sweep. But in order to bridge, I've got to undo my legs. I got to plant this foot. And when Andrew does that, Danny can step out. He already starts the extraction before he steps out, but this is what Danny's looking for. When he gets this, he can easily just kickstand back and then settle into side control. Now it looks like he's looking for progression into mount. Well, tell me no, Cooper. Go to your room. Danny's settling in on a head or an arm in north-south. A variation on a katagatame. That was nice. I don't really see this too much. Able to keep that arm up nice and high. Grabs the armpit. I don't even think Danny secures his grip. He's got an open grip here, but he's framing Andrew's hips. And then keeping a nice tight connection. Hips down to the mat so Andrew can't bring his elbow back. That's really nice. And then letting the strangle do the work. That was sick. Here I'm trying to work some light passing briefly on Mike. You often see me work through a few different things with him. When one thing isn't working, I'll switch, you know, to light passing, high stepping, little misdirection, stuff like that. He did a great job here getting me off balance. This is a really good idea when you know your opponent has this broken down posture. If you can reach their head, throw on a collar tie, pull them forward. You could bump them forward with your legs, pull their head down with the collar tie. That'll plant their hands to the mat, and you're in control there, even if it's brief. Mike almost gets the elevation and the turn, and then here he leaves me open to a shoulder crunch, but I gouge him in the eyes to temporarily blind him. Now I just try to get my hands to the face. I don't want him closing the distance, bringing his head to my shoulder. So I'm trying to extend my arms until I can pummel this arm back into a safer position since it's underhooked. There's a pummel, and now I can work from close guard. No eye gouge is necessary. Danny with the sweep. Devin looking to pass over here. Gets behind Justin's legs. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Mike almost had a very sick entrance here I want to look at. So he goes, this is like a De La Hiva, kind of. Gets me off balance in this direction. And then he almost sits into cross ashi here with the inversion. But I pull my knee to safety, thank God. I don't need to be highlight reeled like Dylan was earlier. Danny's sitting up into a high mount now. Looking to dig out some arms, maybe. Andrew out the back, very nice. Notices the triangle threat. I hope you guys all noticed Danny's modification to that double ankle sweep that I always say is easy to shut down when you do a standing guard break. Danny likes to do it from here where he will... This is not coming out of just purely a closed guard. Actually, hold on. Was it? No, not really. So Danny will sink the feet in and then push outward with the shins. This is somewhat immune to bear trapping the legs, like I like to talk about. When Andrew falls to his back, he can't really pin or pinch Danny's knees the same way you can if Danny was working from a true closed guard position. So Danny feels pretty confident with that move. He's definitely caught me with it a number of times. Poses some different problems to deal with. Fully expecting Mike to get an anaconda on me, or actually, yeah, he was looking for a cradle turnover here, which I tried to take away from him as much as I possibly could. I think the slippery mats are helping me a little bit. Mike's having not the best time getting traction. What did these two do? Danny Darce. Typical. That was nice. Looking for it from mount too. So mount to knee on belly. Danny catches that elbow up high. There it is. Then he can sink it in. Devin on the back, but he doesn't have that bottom hook in. So I'd like to see him pull just... Yeah, there we go. Pulls Justin this way, allowing him to now get a top hook after they turn over. Everybody petering out for the night except for Peters and me. So going for a shin pin here. Thinking about what to do next. Mike's making it impossible for me to get that far side underhook though, so I can't go into what I like to do, like shoulder crunch, or I'm sorry, shoulder drop triangles. But here with that knee up, kind of sitting to kind of a leg drag position, and then looking to get to cross ashi or a Z lock position, which is probably my best bet for breaking Mike's knee, but he doesn't even let me do that. And Mike during these rolls did a really good job of demonstrating re-guarding even from a north-south position. There are probably some other examples of it in our previous roll, but utilizing the legs and the knees to create space and then square back up to your opponent. Here I'm trying to do the light passing again, floating on Mike's shins to no avail. And doing everything I can to stop Mike from extracting my leg. What happens here? Anything cool? They're looking for another step over. Just try and shit, see what sticks. Mike gets a good. Oh yeah, nothing here. We kind of stall each other out. We don't have to watch us do nothing. Go to the more fun parts. Again, Mike looking for that elevation and then inversion into cross ashi. It would look really cool if you did it. Just a desperate attempt on a leg entrance from me. I have both of Mike's legs tied up here. He's not letting me get the other one. And he recognizes that. Breaks my legs open and is able to come up to a top position. I want to believe that he's kind of letting me get to turtle here, because he's been working on some things in that position lately. Namely the like an anaconda, a darce, also breaking down the turtle. And that all came, you know, for everybody competing, that all came from his last competition, the one last month, I think. In his final match when that guy turtled up and he was working anacondas. So take note from Mike. Go compete. If something doesn't work, come back to the lab and figure it out. So there he goes on to that anaconda. He gets the roll, but doesn't secure the position. We go through another roll again. I'm unable to shut that roll down. That's all Mike's hips doing the work. Now he's trying to capture my arm with his leg. I get my own leg caught, which is really bad, but I'm able to shut it down enough that Mike decides to give up on it. We continue rolling through the bell here, just because he was on something. We'll skip ahead a little bit. I don't really do anything fun. Take his back. He gets out. Just some standard disruption. Here I look to go onto the crossbody ride. I can't quite get the leg configuration I want to enter into the like the banana split or like all the different stuff you could do from there, because Mike curls his leg back, so I'm unable to get my leg underneath it. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about here, that's fine. This is a little bit funkier of a position to be in, but if I could have tucked my leg behind Mike's right calf, I would have possibly been able to do something here. But now I'm worried about him grabbing my leg and attacking me, so I bail on that. Try to switch to another cross-side ashi entrance. We hit a few rolls through here. And he just makes it impossible to get his heel exposed. Now he goes on the counterattack on my legs, which I'm not terribly concerned with. I felt confident in my hip position. Last ditch Aoki lock or something. He slips out, and I say, all right, we're done. We're done. It's so dejecting when you can't break your training partner's legs. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Good to be back on the stream. We'll be back at it again on Sunday as well with this coming Saturday's footage. We have a lot of people competing, so I don't know if we'll be able to go over the competition footage on Sunday. But once we get it all compiled, we'll you know how we do it. We'll break it down here for you guys and see what we can learn from it. So thank you again for tuning in. Follow us if you like what you're seeing and you haven't, if you're lurking. And if you're liking, subscribe. Use your Twitch Prime. Justin. I'm just kidding. Use your Twitch Prime. Subscribe on Twitch, whatever. It's the best way to support us. Subscribe over at YouTube as well. I'll post this up there for you guys to review, as well as all upcoming streams, including the comp footage. And yeah, I'll be teaching Saturday. I'll be teaching Tuesday. And all other classes are regular as far as I know. So I hope to see you guys there. If you want to support your team, go out to Concord this weekend, where a bunch of us will be competing at New Breed. Next week we have Ben and John. They're going to be competing at Blue Coast Grappling and some super fights. So definitely come out to that. That'll be out in Denver. So we look forward to seeing you there. Mike and I are going to be there doing live commentary for all those matches. So we should probably get the pay-per-view link or web address or whatever. And if you guys want to tune in, you can do that and listen to our beautiful, sultry voices talk about grappling. In any case, thanks again for tuning in. Go trim your nails, do your laundry, don't be stinky, and I will see you guys back on the mats. Take it easy.